Guess what I'm streaming? At least I think I am. Let's head over to the channel and double check.
Oh, you're streaming?
Yeah, I don't know. I got a bunch of freaking things about buttons, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna make a video, but I could stream. Is there any way to check on my channel if there's a stream up?
Just a second, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it says live now.
Okay.
Send watchers.
Nice. Video manager. Is there a way to change like the thumbnail?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's cool to talk to you. For everybody listening in, we'll be getting to something interesting in a bit. Let's see. Change thumbnail seems like a good thing. I will be using Camp Kelly's thumbnail. Of who know who. Where is it? I think it's under the new folder. Up there.
How many folders you have?
Too many.
Jesus!
Yeah. Oh, that was just the fucking goddamn How Not to Brony section. Oh, I can actually see the comments, I think, or is this from the old one? I don't know. Do I have any watchers right now?
Yeah, you have 31.
Nice. Hi guys, this is FNGR. I do have some more stuff from like the last Toon Critic thing. This is his solution sheet. I wanted to get to this buttons thing because one of my friends, or two or three, I don't know how many, screen grabbed 27 comments off of, I'm actually going to kill the screen so I can read off something that I hopefully don't get flagged for. If someone could keep a track on the chat, see that my audio is still coming through, even though the screen should be down. Are you at least checking the comments, Dog Eye? Could you do that for me, pretty please? Super duper.
Yeah, I can try.
Alright, so yeah, as long as they're still hearing stuff, that's perfectly fine. Let me take a look here. I'm going to read off this remark here. Attention! As you may know, our community guidelines describe to which content we allow and don't allow on YouTube video. This is, I believe, from Button's channel. Your video FNGR
Screen
docs.
is not gone.
The screen is gone, but the audio is the audio coming
The
through.
screen is not gone.
Oh, okay. Is the audio still coming through?
Hold on. We see everything, my friend. Hey, FNG, you're my daddy. Screen is still showing. What's up?
What's up? You know what? I'm going to read it off. One for the money, right?
Yeah, audio is good.
Yeah, reading this off. A child and lying about it, Buttons, was upsetty. Upsetty spaghetti indeed. Was flagged for review. Upon review, we determined that it was violating our guidelines. We removed it from YouTube and assigned... One sec, gotta sneeze. Now it's not going to happen. And assigned a community guidelines strike or temporary penalty to the account. I'd like to state for the record, I didn't flag the video. I hadn't seen it. This was the 45-minute video, I believe I was told. Video content and restrictions. YouTubers share their opinions on a wide range of different topics. However, there's a fine line between passionate debate and personal attacks. As our community guidelines outline, YouTube is not a platform for things like predatory behavior, stalking, threats, harassment, or bullying, or intimidation. Congratulations, Buttons. YouTube, aka Google, now feels that you are probably responsible for at least one of or more of these things. We take these issues seriously. That's Google, that's a multi-billion-dollar company. There are no excuses for such behavior. Hear that, Buttons? No excuses. We remove comments, videos, posts, where the aim is malicious harassment or attack on others. If you are not sure whether or not your content crosses the line, that we ask you to try not to post it, yada yada yada. I think you guys all know strikes, and you could look that up somewhere else. So let's kill out of that. Let's get to those delicious Buttons questions. By the way, is there any good comments that live dashboard? Here we go. Got flagged. Okay, I'm just glancing over. You guys are cool. Back to the Buttons comments. Okay, these are completely worthless. There's no way I could look at that. Oh, here we go. Eric the Cat. Oh, Eric the Cat is a straight G. Did you know that? So anyways, in other words, we have a 25-year-old man who was 23 at the time of adoption. Now, standard disclaimer, FNGR doesn't know adoption rules. You'll want to check this out on a state-by-state basis. Single, who lives with his parents and is financially dependent since he is living with his parents. Depending since he is living in their HH, I'm going to say house, unless he's splitting the rent. For context, there's a girl that I covered, let's just call her Jazz, not the full name, who's trying to say that he's Jazz's dad, and he got into a call with me where he said that he was 24, he's in charge of a daughter, and I'm assuming they're alluding to this. Eligibility to raise a child who is 9 years younger than him, despite the most capable of parents, whether same-sex or not, having to go through the courts and pre-screening process, having to get their backgrounds run and their funds asserted to see if they are financially stable to handle a child. Most parents that pass the process are 25 to 30. Yes, there have been single parents to adopt, but they just don't give your children. They just don't give out children. They have to make sure that the child will be taken care of. Most adoptive parents have to go through being foster parents first. Oh, by the way, Dog Eye, if you could throw this link to the stream into the Secret Rift or wherever the hell else, at least the Secret Rift, you should know that more than anyone. In addition to the parents, would have to fully surrender the child and all information, therefore, to the state. Her YouTube has shown that she has had it since 2000, and yet she got adopted by this guy 2 years ago. I didn't know orphan groups or homes. That's a really good point. I didn't know orphan groups or homes had internet with computers with more than enough time to sit there and abuse internet privileges. So, reevaluating, 23-year-old single male living with his parents adopted a child where he can barely care for himself. The child is 9 years younger than him. I'm not entirely sure of all these facts. I guess we'll continue along. Basing on a call, shown no prior experience of parents or tending to possible small animals. Okay, that's pretty funny. Homeschooling a child when he himself should be working and tending to bills or possibly trying to move out of his parents' home. It's all sweet that you guys take this whole fandom thing seriously, but let's face facts. This is a brother, friend. You and her failed to be her father so that you guys can make it seem like she has someone who cares, when in reality, we have two lazy parents letting their daughter on the internet. Let her lie about her age, attempting to RP with people so she can distract herself from the train wreck of her life that is IRL. Hi, Buttons. Just figured I'd say hi to you. Completely off topic. Now, that she is caught, she is getting defended by you, who, by her deviant art, has had like four mothers die within the same decade. I'm not familiar with that. If anyone can show, we'll look into that later, I guess. How about instead of stalking your ex-girly, you do something more constructive with your life, like finding a job or growing up? Okay. Moving on. Let's see. Eric again. Oh God. Let's look at the comments by now. Hopefully. Oh, hi, Dog Eye. It's good to see you in the comments. Oh, hi, Chicano Bernie. I think he's tweeted at me a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm just looking after the chat.
Okay, I'll get back to the comment here. Eric again. Believe it or not, Eric is not me. If you don't believe me, I don't either. But no, I swear Eric is not me. I can't click on the...
Eric types way too well.
Oh, okay, fuck you too. Playing the part of Blake Diamond in this call will be Dog Eye. Hi, Quill. We're streaming some of these lovely... This is Quill Stroke, one of my exes, who hopefully hates me a lot less than my last one. 2 docs.
I hate you slightly. I hate you slightly less.
Okay, I'll take that. That's cool. To docs, he wouldn't have to show identifying information correctly since the child lied about all of her identity information. Date of birth, age, her state isn't listed, phone number wasn't leaked, her Skype name might also be a lie. What identifying information about the child was leaked beside her? Okay. Oh dear lord. Cool Beans. I know that person. Buttons Reviews it's a learning experience to always tell the truth and ask the person before ERPing. Eric the Cat. Oh god, Eric.
The only Eric Kichi actually loves.
That's true. Kichi did get me these docs, and I find it remarkably coincidental that these docs are swarmed with Eric. I'm wondering if that's why Kichi found this. Kichi, do you have an unhealthy fixation with this Eric the Cat individual? Just a theory. Here you guys go. Apparently, Buttons doesn't want people to see valid points. I can't click on the Gyazos here. Jocelyn, that is our jazz person. I wasn't asking to ERP. That is the thing. In the logs, I was just asking for him to RP as a family member. Nothing sexual. Okay. And there's Buttons. Oh, you certainly pressed them. So a certain individual comments are being deleted because they're giving misinformation, lying to save their ass. I will continually be deleting these until it is fully honest with them. I didn't post on your channel. But then again, a certain individual is innocuous and vague. Maybe you're picking on poor Eric, Buttons. Didn't you ask to adopt Eric? You're no caregiver, you. Eric, how about having honesty in your video, or for that matter, answering the questions that you are avoiding, dear? It's like you to state that there is no honesty, when in reality you are dodging the question in full. Eric again. Are you making fun of Anthony's dick? Okay, thank you, Eric. Eric does know dick. If this is about Jasmine, seems like you're making this all about you versus the victim. I don't argue with Eric the Cat's wisdom. Pony. God, I love these brony names. I just love them. Moving along. So let's get this straight. The girl is 16 but lied and said that she was 25. See, they're confused. I'm confused too. Her Skype profile says 25 until recently. If you cannot provide evidence that she told anyone that she was 15 before RPing with them, which would be easy since Skype and Discord let you look up conversations, then we have to assume anyone that she dated didn't know her age. Also, is there proof that they engaged in anything sexual? As far as this guardian goes, can you provide some proof that this is an actual guardian and not some fandom family thing? There should be adoption papers, if any of that is true. None of this story adds up. Okay. Gonna double check the chat, see how you guys are doing. Oh, everybody seems neato mosquito. Alright, I'm gonna go back.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But isn't that like a form of entrapment if she's underage and she's lying to be legal?
I'm not. Look, what would you get juvie for that? I don't know. I know that sounds like something that should be a law, but we don't live in shouldland, and I would defer to the opinions of a legal expert, which you guys should all see on a state-by-state basis level, or go do your own legal research. Go buy yourself a Westlaw subscription.
I know that, and I know from my own experience, because I tried to pull the same shit Jasmine did when I was her age. I got told by a cop that if I was lying, I can go to jail.
That's probably more legal advice than a cop is supposed to give, because the legal advice that a police officer is supposed to give from the paralegal classes I have is to the extent of you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to attorney. It's why they have that memorized and burnt into their, skull, is to keep themselves, because there's only so much outside of lawyers that are able to give certain amounts. Like certain insurance salesmen get certified to talk about this much, and this much. It's very complicated, and that's why I'm trying to, Quill would like to state it is likely based off of her personal experiences, and you should do your own legwork. So don't sue her or take her.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Super Smash Love. So wait, How can a single guy living under his parents' roof adopt a child when my parents had to fight to get me? And mind you, my parents are both well-funded and had to wait a year to adopt me. What state does he live in? Okay, let's moving along. Bubble blowing baby. Okay, we're just going to move along. Is anyone questioning the legality of this story yet? Or are we going to go with the fact he is a single guy trying to make it with a daughter who is 9 years younger than her? Bubble blowing baby. Say that 5 times fast. Don't do that. Stan Lee. Cameos everywhere, this fucker. So I'm trying to understand, but she was lying about her age to begin with. If you're so much of a victim, now why sit there and allow this to happen without once saying, idiot, I'm a minor? You should start to do that, Jazz. Your facts don't make sense, and for the record, why are you stating the information, not him? Hey, you not only adopted her 2 years ago. His response after a long pause in silence was, yes, that sounds like... Okay, someone didn't click read more. Rocking Socks. Good cat name, I think. Guessing the like... Now, my dude, Little Buttons, the kid, and her father. Don't quite understand, but pressing on. Buttons reviews. So a certain... No, I thought we did this one. Well, I'm going to read the remark underneath it here. Rin the Guardian. You state that there isn't honestly... You're stating that there isn't honestly in their comments, yet they bring up valid points that you ignored, dear Buttons. I seriously think that you need to reevaluate your story, because some of your points some of the points you bring up aren't making sense. Okay. I don't even want to remember how much is left. Okay, Buttons responds, but they were not... Please mute that. Please. Thank you. I don't know if they got kicked or what. Buttons reviews. They were not valid. They were misinformation. Oh, she went fake news. What's the name? Donald Dump? Is there some way of mixing Buttons with Donald Trump? I'm not going to do that. We can't do that to the Donald. He has work. Anyways, Phoenix Wright. Bullshit. I am a fucking foster parent. Okay, who adopted before you adopt? There's a link here, travel, state, content. You know what? You have to be at least 25 to adopt. How did this 23-year-old single male abuse the system to adopt? Papyrus.
Sorry about that, telemarketer.
My husbando, Papyrus, and yours. Why are you... Please mute. Whoever...
Hold on.
The echo!
Yeah.
Hold on!
Is it good? Alright, moving on, Papyrus.
Here, sorry.
Okay, yeah, no, look. I got it, it's cool. We'll deal with it later, Papyrus. Why are you deleting the comments that make valid points? It's almost like you're lying. Like you're trying to paint someone as the bad guy when this kid knew what she was doing. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Metan Louver. Metan Louver. The power of Lerv. Showing federal law is misinformation, love. You know it is the U.S. federal law that parents be at least age 25. How do you even know this guy from a hole in the wall? Now, to be fair, I can't say I haven't looked myself. I encourage everyone to look and find out what the minimal age to be able to adopt is. Let's take a look. Cherry Rush. Oh, shout out to Vita's favorite OC. I'm not going to make it weird. Yeah, I did, and the most I think about it, and the more I see you delete comments, the less I believe. And if what you are saying is bullshit, then why delete it? Okay, let's get to 16. Marcella. Excellent. Dude, this guy isn't her dad. It's federal law that you have to be 25 to adopt him. Sure, hearing that a lot. Again, just quantity doesn't equal truth, but again, I'll probably look it up later myself. My wife and I have been trying to adopt, and it's not just pick up a kid and take her home. This whole thing is a charade. Okay. Cassandra. Misinformation is questioning the child's motives or validating the IP address are two different states, so the federal laws aren't misinformation, right? Okay, now I'd like to state for the record I haven't been looking into IPs. That's all on you. Not judging. I should be. But there's so much I'm taking in right now. It's such a breakneck speed. Do apologize in advance. The real Pink Pony. Please don't let that be Pinky Posh. So she's deleting the comments that bring up valid points that she's claiming is misinformation. So I bring up misinformation about the U.S. federal law. Y'all should have did your studying before lying about your whole adoption thing. God, it's like talking to Kichi. Anyways, I mean, Kichi's very confident, but that was a lot of South there. Anyways, buttons. So a certain okay, we've read that. Pony here. I'm assuming is the new information on this specific comment. I keep wanting to say tweet. Seems like all you're doing is deleting the comments you don't agree with instead of proving proof otherwise. You're just telling people to believe you because you say so. I cannot support someone like this. You have earned my dislike. Jasmine, this is read off by Pony, if you're actually listening, I suggest you distance yourself away from this toxic person. I don't condone calling people toxic. We call them shitty where I come from. They're clearly not good for you. Felt like I had something to say there. Instead of providing proof, you're just telling people to believe in you. I'm just reading through here. Let's move along. I'm just trying to get through all this. Aquatic Shine. I like that name. Federal law. Dear, he has to be 25 years of age to adopt a child. Would have been more convincing if you said foster parents, but you guys lied on yourselves. Okay. 21. Big banger. Okay. No comment. So I want to approach this being a parent myself. We're getting a lot of parents, like 5 or 6. While I actually gave birth to mine, I want to make a valid point from a personal experience. Having a child isn't just saying this child is mine. Legally, you have to provide proof that the child is yours. Just claiming you adopted her without following any of the procedures and researching any federal laws prior is foolish, to say the least. I get this new age of technology. It is harder to monitor your kids' habits, but it's not important. It's not impossible. Sorry. The way it is sounding that this is a homeschooled child with no supervision because her doing her schoolwork. This man is living in his parents' house and raising a child. He is no better than those girls from 16 and pregnant. Is that a show? I'm going to assume that's a show. They actually have jobs and a significant other to assist with supporting the child. You also adopted this child at a crucial age in a girl's life when she was 13. Did you explain anything as far as what she would need to know about being a young lady, like menstrual cycles, thank you, stranger danger, and having a sex talk? Well, this person's definitely more of an adult than I am. You can't expect me to believe the system did this for you prior to adopting her. So please do me a favor, stop lying. This makes us real parents. Adoption, biological, or foster. I don't mean to disrespect or disregard, but isn't adoption and foster kind of the same thing? You know what, nitpick, moving along. Shake our head and be ashamed to claim that you are one of us, or one of our own. How can you provide for a child when you can't provide for yourself? Okay, moving along.
Foster is temporary.
The what?
Foster?
What is? Is the stream going good or what?
Yes.
Oh,
I was
foster
just
is
saying
temporary.
that
Oh yeah, thank you. Foster is a temporary arrangement. Thank you, Dog Eye. Yep, she wasn't going to stand for that wise cat bullshit. She's going to represent all the dog people. Cartoon Gentleman. Shout out to one of my patrons. Buttons Reviews. How come you aren't addressing the comments that you are quickly deleting? Okay, moving right along. The Dark Lord Cthulhu. I want to give a shout out to Dark Lord Cthulhu. He has a new video game coming out sometime.
Hey, Uncle!
Yep, coming out sometime in the foreseeable future. I know Vita's dying to play it when it drops. He's a big fan. I like the concepts of your series. Yeet. Good to see you. Let's see. Rin the Guardian. Why did you delete the comments? Did you realize your errors? Okay, let's get to 26. Pony Coward. Okay. Buttons. So yeah, haha. Guys, FNGR doxing a child and yelling at the guardian without letting him speak has been being really testy right now. Google doesn't seem to agree with you. They seem to think that you broke the terms of service. Let's see. Pony, don't forget to disable your comments as well. Well, Buttons, if I could give you some advice, if you would have learned at the feet of your master, you would have set your comments to pre-approved, which means you would be able to sift through them. It's sad that I have to teach you to be a better social justice warrior, as you've even failed at that. Pony, I'm a little confused. Why exactly did you try to go to FNGR and Vita for help? Okay, thank you. Vita tried to get you to kill yourself, and you claim that FNGR is a horrible, abusive person. Why would you try and get these people in the first place when they have obviously zero interest in helping you? I do have zero interest in talking to Buttons. Absolutely none. Vita and I have been friends with me for a couple of months, and this is irrelevant to the situation. Pony, so you're fine with people who abuse you to get what you want. Okay, I believe that's as far as that goes. I'm going to look at the comments. Do you guys want to hear the rest of the Toon critic crap where he lists off his... Okay, let's read off here. Is FNGR docs? Okay, so you're saying, why is Button saying... Yeah, let's just do the Toon critic stuff. If I can find it. This is the second half of the Y2K Toon critic thing. Let's see how long this is. Oh, Jesus. Well, you better buckle up, buckaroo. We got a lot of reading, and we're going to go until my voice craps out.
Oh dear.
After I poured my emotions into the learning sheet, that's the last Toon critic thing that we kind of skimmed through, I decided to move on to phase 2 of all this. Moving past the grief, anger, and denial stage and putting thoughts into what's next. Because one can only spend so much time dwelling on the past before realizing that the only way that you can go from here is forward, even if it hurts. You have to keep going, no matter what. I think about this every single day, and it's hard to, given how devastating the facts were at first. So here's some of the lessons I've learned, and how I'm going to implement them in the future and stick to them. God, this would be pretty good if it wasn't Toon Critic. Don't you think? Like, if this came out as somebody who, I don't know, stole a lawnmower. You know, I don't know. I'm Mexican. Sorry for being stereotypical. If they ate the last ice cream sandwich or something like that. If this wasn't a pedophile making this. Problems that should or would or could thoughts, solutions, focus on things that you can change. The cruelest prison we build for ourselves is out of fear and regret. Now, bear with me, I still stick with my friend's perspective that Toon Critic's doctor, who should probably at the very least be disbarred and at most should be in jail for assisting this bullshit, probably assisted with writing this. Probably it is likely. One of the problems that I have is that I live in the past. Well, if I had your current present, I would do that too, Toon. I thought at first I dwelled too much into it. But I think my mind never really left it behind. Even now, I'm constantly thinking about the past few years and thinking about what I should have or would have and could have done. But that isn't healthy. It's poisonous and will keep you locked in the past. You wouldn't be able to move on or continue in your life if you were thinking about the events that have already done and set in stone. Guilt and regrets are deadly combinations that can only be undone by acceptance. Accepting the future, that what happened, and the only thing that you do to control over the future is the first step in the right direction. I do not believe that Toon Critic came up with this on his own. This is way too... I don't want to say enlightened. It's too... feels like it came from a professional hand. For the first 2 weeks
it's too well worded.
It is too well worded. It'd be a bit more... Yeah. I don't know anybody who could have probably put the time and effort into this. Like, let's be honest. Like, even, and I'm not taking the piss out of Josh. Like, even Josh's, and he's a 100,000 sub channel. The 100,000 sub channels I have don't have polished words like this, and I refuse to believe that Toon's fucking this articulate. And Isaac wrote this? I doubt it. No, some doctor somewhere who should be kicked out and disbarred did this shit. For the first weeks of all this, I've looked back and analyzed my behaviors and what I did wrong over and over. I tormented myself thinking what I could and should and would have done differently. Even after events happened, I'd still perseverate? I don't know what that means. On what could have been done lightly.
Hey, you got money.
Oh, let's take a look at it, shall we? This is marking the time between classes and homework better. Oh, so you're saying I'm better than homework and classes, I think? Thank you. Shout out to Maria Alvarez. The last name Alvarez, free fun fact, not that anyone's going to give a crap, is the name of one of my mixed martial arts fighters, Eddie Alvarez. So thank you. I appreciate the $5. I'll have to look up how to take that out. That's the first money I've ever gotten since I just enabled the super chat for this one. I forgot completely where I was.
Oops.
The Krillis, you know what? Let's just go down to this next part here. Problems and striving for perfection, and solutions strive for effort. Don't beat yourself up for your mistakes. Don't worry, Toon. We know you're not doing that. That'd be like Bojack talking about, I need to take it easy. I created a massive problem for myself. The hell you say. After a while, with all the mistakes that I've been making, once the mistakes started piling up, I tried to be more hyper aware of my mistakes. I essentially was about to be perfect. What? Let's reread that. I essentially was I essentially was trying to be perfect. It was the fact that you said I was about to become perfect. Okay, if I could get an artist that could draw imperfect Toon, like going into his final form, DBZ reference, anyways, without making my mistakes, but yet it still ended up happening. Anyways, despite how careful I was, fucking phone. Well, I have a stream, so I'm going to just talk to you guys. I'm going to keep my place on this. I'm going to wait for the ringing to stop. I'm really sorry. Let's look back at the comment section.
Don't worry, we don't hear it.
Yeah, no, I'm just making sure because I don't want it to pick up anyway. Hey, I'm giving a shout out to Fire Rose Petal in the comment section. Countess Rose, Jessica Pedley, how the hell are you doing? Pancake Sorcerer, that's my jam. Onyx the Dragon. I know there's some people who don't like you, but I don't have any problems with you myself. I tried to give him Eric the Cat, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, cool, it stopped ringing. Oh, thank God. It's one of the worst decisions I think I've made to try and be perfect. Oh yeah, right about here. But that was warped perspective that I can't go back to. I've learned that it's okay to make mistakes because you're good enough, and doggone it, people like you. Now, Stuart Smalley reference for anyone who used to watch old Saturday Night Live. We all make them. We're all human. God, this is pissing me off. He's saying this shit. And others have made mistakes, probably not as frequently as me, but still. This would be okay if Dr. Wolf talked like this. You know? Well, you can only hope instead of just beating himself off. I've beaten myself up for mistakes and held myself up to a higher standard. It's like trying to do pull-ups. Oh, there's no way your tubby ass ever did any of those. Even though you clearly know you can't do them that many. I'd pay real money to see Toon do a pull-up even now. It's okay to fall as long as you get right back up on your feet. Yeah, we know you're capable of doing that part. From now on, I will no longer hold myself to a standard. I'd legit like to see what that if Toon Critic were honest and see what that standard was. Event Horizon, if anybody could get this to him, because I still remember when if Lily Pete was being honest, that'd be a great video for him. What do I do is good enough? What I do is good enough. Bullshit. Bottom of the barrel. And I will stop doubting myself, thinking I didn't do a good enough job. I will no longer hold myself to all the mistakes I've made. I'll stop beating myself up for it because I realize that's the only one who's been beating himself up for it is me. No, I'm pretty sure, me, Vita, a lot of people in Limbo have been beating you up. Lily has definitely kicked the shit out of you, and that's probably the best thing that Pete's done in some time. No, there's a lot of people slapping the shit out of you, Toon, and rightfully so. The others were supportive and wanting me to get better. The voice in my head is a lot quieter than it was before. Okay. I know that there will always be there. It's my chance to listen to it, and I choose to listen to my heart, which tells me to strive to do your best, give 100%, and pace yourself so you don't burn yourself out again. From what, going to conventions? Going to conventions and welching on paying your fair share and harassing girls, doing your best. Just have fun with it, Toon. You fucker. Problem, dealing in absolutes and hyper-focusing. I don't know how else to tell you guys this in the fandom. I didn't know anybody as big as Toon as lazy as him. Solutions, accept the negatives and don't try to erase them. Do not be ashamed of your flaws, embrace them. Oh boy, I'm just sure this is going to make Eliora happy. Eliora believes an issue I have for years is that I deal in extremes and absolutes. I've found that many children, I don't want to hear you talking about children, on the autism spectrum have this issue too. I'm glad that you've wrapped yourself in that to excuse your actions, Toon. I don't want you to lump yourself in with AJ at all. And the one from the fandom, not the show. I either put 100% into what I do or not at all. In all that is, I almost threw up on my mouth. In all solutions where things don't go my way, I end up shutting down. I've done my damnedest to be a perfectionist, thinking that the less mistakes I made, the less people would see me as a fuck-up. But that only caused more problems. I spent years of my life trying to be someone else so I could have less problems. You know, again, I'm tired of sounding like a broken record, but I would have loved to have heard a plea like this from someone who's, legit needed help. You know? If Molly would have wrote this, I would have sat down and really fucking listened. But
I get you.
Yeah. But now that the dust has settled and I've gotten a good look at myself, I've learned to slowly accept myself in all the positives and flaws.
What positives?
I was just sitting there thinking, if Keyframe wrote this, I probably would have broke down. I'm no longer ashamed of myself. With Toons or cartoons gone, I can finally face myself head on and learn that yes, I have flaws. I don't believe for a second if he could have his channel back and have everything go back to normal, I think he absolutely would. I may not be able to rid all of them. I'd rather have my flaws than be a robot, than be what I'm trying to be, than being what I was trying to be. Learn to embrace yourself than try to be something you're not. If you're not uncomfortable with who you are, don't pretend to be yourself. Be you, accept yourself. Okay. Problem, an inferiority complex solution. Never compare yourself to others. You are good enough. No, Toon, you are not good enough. You should compare yourself to others. You should strive to be someone else. That's as much as YouTube will allow me to say versus what I would really like you to tell you to do. Moving along. The feeling of being inferior to so many people didn't come at first for a few years. The furthest back is a rivalry I had with Will. At the time, I thought it was a friendly competition that I thought would help bring out the best in me. Make me up my game and make me a better content maker and entertainer. And we had been out for years, and we had been at it for years. I'm sure that was a one-sided affair. I may have many complaints about the Wilsonator, but I'll certainly say he's a better dancer, a better singer, a better voice actor, and even on Will's snarkiest, upstuck days, he's a better person than you, Toon. Get fucked. Trying to be Lexi's boyfriend, competing over roles, and projects. That's not... No, I was thinking of Lux. Lip sync battles. It turned into something toxic. Are you fucking kidding me? He didn't even want to do any of this. It was all one-sided. Looking back, I feel truly horrible for putting our friendship through that, when he was one of the first friends who brought me into this. Then when my work began to take over your work, you motherfucker, and I was making money on a consistent basis, that's when I started feeling pressured that I wasn't able to make enough to help my family and my mom. I felt nudged me in the wrong decision with, you are the best, you are just as good as all of them, so prove it. I struggled with, how come I'm not making as much as them? What can I do to fix this? What can I do to be better? How can I make more? And by comparing myself to others and creating an impossible problem. Motherfucker, at least once a week, all the people who made the highest podcasts I made up your show. They bent over backwards to get you the fuck over and keep you relevant. I don't know what the fuck is going through your head. For better or for worse, you had all the resources and tools with your friends. Going back to reading, I wanted to be like so many people, but instead of actually doing something, I whined and complained. That is true, he absolutely did. But now this is gone, I realized something I should have listened to. I should have stuck to, I may not be Dr. Wolf, Silver Quill, or Josh Scorcher, but there's no one else like me. Performance major. There was no one like me. I always did my best to try and set myself up to a standard where I could try and be on their level. And I got entitled thinking I should. It doesn't quite fit there, but that's gone. I could truly realize something that... Was that somebody in the call? That I've been denying. I'm good enough. I don't have to be anyone else. I can just be me. And for a while, I didn't want to accept him because of all the mistakes I made, but those mistakes do not define me. I am not defined by the times I fall down. I am defined by the times I get back up. I've said that about Toon. I'm sure I boosted it from somewhere else, so maybe he did the same. That's something I can keep going with. Alright. Let's glance over at the chat, guys. How you guys doing? Hi, Mimi. Seems like he's slightly shaking out of it. No screw off Toon. Thanks, Wolf. Yeah.
In Limbo, Silver made a picture for you.
It'll have to wait.
Right.
Problem. Do not rely on others to provide your sense of worth. Well, that would rely on Toon learning not to rely on others, period. That'd be nice. Solution. Take stock of your own talents. Everything else is good at different things. See, it's good advice. I just wish somebody else would have done it. You know, someone else should be able to take a look at this script and boost all the good ideas and act like they made them up. I'd like that. There's something that I myself don't believe was from me, but from an altered state. Okay, what drugs were you on? As things started to deteriorate for me, the belief in myself started to drain. I started to put my stock and my faith in other people besides myself. I lived through what other people saw of me that only encouraged me to make up in front for myself so that I could be reflected back, that I could see what they saw in me, and perhaps making the positivity sheet, that's the last one, was a bad idea because I think that while it did help, it also was something I relied on too damn much, like a crutch. And the most important thing is the self-worth in yourself. I realize that everyone is good at different things. You know what? I don't want to... Let's skim through, see if there's any of these. Heat the problems to yourself. Solution. Talk. I don't care. Get fucked. Making your own critic. Solution. Do it for you. Do it for the fun. I'm just reading off the talking points if there's anything really good. Feeling like everything's a story and everyone's a character. Draw upon what's real in the has to be ripped from a book or something. Sensory overload. Introverted or extroverted solution, be aware if overloaded and do something sooner rather than later. So what happens now? Good lord. Alright, so I'm going to try here. So what happens next? March 14th, 2018. I don't know, that's when I got this, but I guess that's where we're going to go from here. So we come to the end of the journey. I've been anxiously awaiting and dreading this day, because while it may be the end, as cliche as it sounds, it's only just the beginning of the first day of the rest of my life. It's been a long 8 weeks, but I feel I have truly accomplished more in the past few weeks than I have in the past 8 months, even in 8 years. I have the answers to questions about this situation and about myself. Free heads up to everybody down below, just for whatever reason, if this channel gets flagged, I'll be streaming over on Fanon Frenzy, so you might want to go throw that a sub or whatever. Moving forward is the most important part of the healing process. I've figured out that how, why, what, and I know I feel a grasp on why this all happened, but we move forward from this as a learning experience. I accept full responsibility for my actions. Turn yourself in. Whether it was as someone else or not, I own up to my actions and am willing to face the full consequences of this without fear. Go to jail. No more running, no more hiding behind tools to distract or deflect my depression. No more. Enough people have been hurt because of my past actions. It is time to face the music. This is why I've tweeted at Mr. Mediker about Toon Critic. I don't care if he takes the shit out of me. I did do that before. I'd like to see someone with a big enough, spotlight shine on Toon where he eventually has to go to jail. That would absolutely make my life. I'd pay about $300 tops, I think, is a good... Yeah, if I could bribe Jim. I doubt it, though. He's not someone who could be bought. Every day has been a challenge. Every day has been a fight and a test of my will to not give back into my demons for solace. But I have persevered despite the odds and stuck in my lessons in the process. I am no longer a character. I am me, Zach. Again, choking back vomit. I recognize my own self-worth without the need to rely on others for validation. I have found the balance. Think about that for a minute. I don't need to appeal to someone with as many fucked up retarded moves as you did. No, Toon, you should sit there and wait to get the okay from someone else because your judgment and opinion is balls. None of your friends are directly 1v1 responsible for what you did with children. And done away with dealing in extremes and absolutes, I have learned to fully open myself up, and even despite fears of rejection and fear of failure, and to trust those around me with the trust and love and respect and loyalty they deserve. Kind of sounds like it almost sounds like a prayer. Again, I wish it came from someone else. Fear has dominated my life on a subconscious level, but as of now, I will cast out all fear out of my life. For being fearless is what kept me going. Fear that I may not get everyone back. Toon, the moment you get anyone back, I will be glad to tell everyone I can. Blood stays on the blade. Fear that I may never be accepted again. Fear I may relapse all over again. I have been given a second chance, not just to redeem myself, but I've been given a second chance at life. I think we're getting closer to the end. This is a chance to live my life now, not as Toon, not as cartoons. Zach, to finally embrace myself. As of right now, I have fully accepted who I am and who I believe to be a healer. No one should ever have to feel this pain and help others that I do so without reward, without benefits. My God, I was just sitting there thinking, wouldn't it have been cool if somebody else in the fandom would have opted, somebody bigger up would have read this out? somebody with a further reaching voice that could have said bullshit. No one should have ever been able to feel this pain and to help others. I could do so without rewards, without benefits, others than to try and help others. Others than to try and help others. Other than try and help others. There we go. To be selfless. I am not the same person as I was before. I am better. I have conquered my demons and have realized that they do not control me, nor do they own me. No, Toon, those aren't demons, those are you. I have learned that this depression, that these demons, this void with myself, will be a part of me for years to come, and while I cannot get rid of it, I can learn to live with it and keep it at a manageable level. I firmly believe this change will reflect on the people I love and care for. In doing so, will spread a positive message. I strive to become a better person for the benefits of not just myself, but for everyone around me, for my family, for Isaac, for my friends, for me, Zach. Thank you to all of you who have helped me in my journey. Thank you for believing in me and giving me a chance to truly make this happen. I will take a moment here that I would like to insist in the opposite direction. Don't quit, can't quit, won't quit, never again. Well, I will be there right along with you, Zach, in the opposite direction. Things I've learned from sites, keeping them as a reminder for future things. Trusting your friends will inevitably disappoint. I think that's the other way around from their side. We have to internalize our power and make ourselves the only wielder of it. No label or position or relationship can give us worth. There are external factors we have to ensure that if something or someone is removed from our lives, or esteem will remain intact. 2, forgive. We need to forgive ourselves. Oh, here's that message of forgiveness again. Want to give a shout out to Dr. Wolf. We often have to find it easier to forgive others, but we must apply this compassion to ourselves and well-being. Take stock of our talents. Everybody has a gift or calling in this world. In fact, each of us have made different abilities than others. We must identify these. If we are unsure of what these abilities are, start small. What small things are are we good at? Enjoy, and what things in other people live lives better. Celebrate these. They are the things that make us worthy. That didn't sound too bad. Again, I wish it came from somebody else. Let's see how many are left. 17. Let's keep trucking along. Manage your inner critic. Notice the critical things you say to yourself. Would you talk to your best friend like that? Toon, there is no way you were harsher on yourself than the people around you. Bullshit.
Hello.
A harsher
Hello.
inner... Who is it? Who came in? Anyways, moving along. A harsher inner voice just tears us down. If you're in the habit of thinking self-critically, retraining yourself by rewording these negative, unkind thoughts.
Never change.
Who is there?
Pinty.
Oh, please not now, Pinty. I'm going to move on to 5. Focus on what goes well for you. Are you so used to focusing on the problems that they're all you see? Next time you catch yourself dwelling on problems or complaints about yourself in the day, find something positive to counter it. Each day, write down 3 good things about yourself. 3 good things that went well that day because of your actions or efforts. That might not be bad, but I'd probably get that information.
Yeah, it's an actual way of dealing with.
So this is probably from some kind of self-depression book.
Okay.
Aim for effort rather than perfection. Some people get held back by their own pressure to be perfect. They lose out because they don't try. If they think I won't audition for the play because I won't be the lead, it's guaranteed that that role will be for someone else. View mistakes as learning opportunities. Except that these I don't want to read the rest of this. I just don't. Here, I'm gonna go say hi to you guys. So TK wrote this doc or something. It's potentially possible, pristine. I'm just gonna look at some of your guys' comments. Hi Kichi, hi Pedley. Just seeing if there's anything of real note. Time Lord Rick, I put too much pressure on myself. That's what. Yeah, you're not wrong. Guys, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I think I've addressed everything that I can or should. I'm gonna hit stop. I hope you had an okay time. God bless and take care.